So in this episode, I'm going to show you the top 5 kills in horror movies. Let's get started. So before we begin, we need to go over a few things. These are the top 5 kills in horror movies, not the top 5 trendiest, not the top 5 unique, but the top 5 most fucked up kills. Which means not just murder, but psychologically as well. So if you have a weak stomach, this isn't the video for you. And with all that said, let's get rolling. Number 5, Runaway Head, Hereditary. Now you always hear people joking around, well, if you put your leg or your head out, it's gonna get chopped right off. Well, in this moment, it actually did. Now when I watched it, I was joking around saying, oh, this girl's gonna get her head chopped right off. And sure as fuck, boom, out of nowhere, her head gets decapitated. What makes this death even more gruesome is when the brother realizes that his sister is no longer responding. He looks in the rearview mirror and sees a headless body of his sister. And this will be something that torments him the rest of his life. Number 4, Achilles Tendonless, Pet Cemetery. Now what makes this so creepy is not just the fact that the kid's already dead and he was just ran over by a friggin' semi-truck, but out of nowhere he takes a scalpel and slices the neighbor's Achilles tendon, which in case you don't know, would be extremely excruciating and you wouldn't be able to walk on that foot. Which then drops the neighbor down to the ground and follows it up with the child ripping out the neighbor's throat. Number 3, 3 for 1 Suicide, a Serbian film. Now, if you haven't seen a Serbian film, this is going to completely ruin it for you, so I highly suggest you skip this part. A Serbian film is one of the most mind-fucked movies I've ever watched, and has actually been banned in multiple countries. So with that said, this scene takes place at the end of the movie, after the father was tricked into raping both his child and his wife. Yeah, you heard that right. When he finally realized what he was being tricked into doing, he turned around and killed a bunch of people. One by shoving his huge ass dick down one guy's throat, murdering him with his fucking dick. But then we fast forward to where the whole family is still traumatized. Nobody's speaking, nobody can leave, nobody can do anything. The child, the wife, the father, they are all fucking done mentally. So the father and wife agree that death is the only option, which brings us to the bed scene. Now the bed scene actually has them all curled up. He's holding them nice and tight, puts the firearm to the back of the child, pulling the trigger, killing his son, his wife, and himself. Now if you think that's bad, it's not over yet. The police come, they make a phone call to an underground porn company that pays them very well for this shit, where they film a guy raping the dead bodies of the child, the wife, and the father. This is one of the most twisted fucking things I've ever seen. Number 2, Baby Ain't Got No Head, Human Centipede, Part 2. Now this is actually a pretty disturbing scene and it catches everybody off guard. Nobody knows it's coming. I didn't even see this one coming. And I can usually guess movies in the first 10 minutes of shit happening. And yes, that's including Saw. So in this scene, we follow a frantic woman who's on the verge of giving birth, running for her life. Now she stumbles and gets into the car, but at the same time she gives birth, the baby slips out of her vagina, and then the mother, unrealizing it because she's so disturbed and so freaked out and so panicked and trying to get away, slams and squishes the baby's head right underneath the accelerator pedal. We see the entire infant's head getting squished with brain going everywhere. And here are some honorable mentions. Drill through the head, the gates of hell. Cut in half, ghost ship. Sleeping bag kill. Friday the 13th, Part 7. And now for that final moment everybody's been waiting for. Number 1, murdering your own son. The Mist. Now we did have another death where the father had to kill his child, but the father died in the end. So nothing is as tormented as this. Now this scene takes place after a group of random people finally get away from a bunch of monsters in a grocery store, only to realize that there's nowhere to go, and that this world has been overrun by monsters, and they've all come to the conclusion that murdering each other would be a far less painful death than being tortured by these damn creatures. So it comes down to the father having to kill his own son. So then he gets out of the SUV in order to commit suicide by offering himself to the monsters, only to realize that that sound wasn't the monsters. It was actually a rescue team. Yeah, that's right. The fucking US military finally showed up to help them after he just got done murdering his son. And to take this one step further, he didn't even have any ammo left to kill himself. So now he has to live the rest of his life knowing that his son could have survived had he only waited 10 more seconds. Which makes this kill torment this man for the rest of his life. Frank Darabont, the guy that everybody knows who's the master of adapting Stephen King books to movies, filmed this scene without the studio's knowledge after they got done bitching at him, snuck it into the movie, and then argued with the studio for months in order to keep it in it, because the studio didn't want to touch this scene at all. In fact, they wanted an entirely new ending filmed. And Stephen King loved this ending so much, he even stated that he wished he put this in his own book. So all that said, let me know down in the comment section below, what is your favorite kill in horror movie history? Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because if you don't, you won't be notified of kick-ass shit such as this. And be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, because 150 likes on this video will get you another top 5 horror video on this channel. Also, don't forget merch link down in the description below. Eat, sleep, / repeat, the 4 essentials for any horror fan. Don't forget to join us in Discord. That link is in the description below as well. We're all in there having a kick-ass time. And as always, I'll see you next time.